We're regularly told to think outside of the box, but what does that actually mean? Watch this video to find out more about what the skills of creativity and innovation are, why they are so important for our future, and we discuss those all important top tips to help you develop the ability to think outside of the box. So, creativity is defined as a skill to generate or recognise alternatives or possibilities that may be useful in solving problems, communicating with others, and in order to entertain ourselves. Innovation, on the other hand, is the creation, development, or the implementation of a new product, process, or service with the aim of improving efficiency or effectiveness or to gain a competitive advantage. So, the main difference really between creativity and innovation is the focus. So, creativity is about unleashing the potential of the mind to conceive new ideas, and innovation, on the other hand, is about introducing change into relatively stable systems, and it's also concerned with the work required to make an idea viable. But creativity doesn't just involve, as some people think, producing a work of art. It exists among people in every department across all job functions and at all levels. Technology is very much at the forefront of society, and creativity and innovation are needed to ensure we can get the most from these advancements. With developments in technology, new problems arise, so creativity is needed to solve these problems, but also to create new services that support this new way of working. An example of this might be the emergence of the role of a social media blogger. Creativity and innovation are also important so that organisations and employers can continue to be as efficient and effective as possible. And that means to get the maximum outcome with minimum wasted effort in the most cost effective way. Creativity and innovation are needed in order to solve problems, but there are many problems which are thrown at us in our education, in our personal lives, and also in business. Let's take the global pandemic as an example. Being able to adapt to solve these problems are key to overcoming obstacles. So let's have a look at some examples of how businesses have been creative and innovative in order to survive the pandemic. So there was the closure of shopping centres, and we've seen businesses now move online, move on social media, and also open up pop-up shops in the community in order to continue selling their products. Restaurants and cafes are now using apps to offer a delivery service and also are offering takeout menus. Some hair and beauty professionals have been offering online training and also selling wholesale products so that they can still continue to make money but in a different way. Creativity and innovation is also needed in order to stand out amongst others. This might be the case if you are creating a project in college, but thinking about businesses, creativity can be used to help you stand out amongst other competitors, and this is extremely important so that customers come to you and not them. Creativity will help you create a new product or packaging, but also it will help inform your brand identity and also help you to create an innovative marketing strategy. Let's take John Lewis as an example. They were the first brand to use technology alongside their marketing strategy in 2015. They had a Christmas advert, which was Buddy the Boxer, but they also created a Snapchat filter to go alongside their advert. And not only were they memorable with a fantastic advert, but also they ensured that they were the talking point with a cute Snapchat filter too. So we've spoken a little bit about why creativity and innovation are so important, but the million-dollar question is, how do we think outside of the box? So on the screen is a lateral thinking question which requires you to think outside of the box to answer. So pause this video to see if you can think beyond the obvious to answer the question. So the answer was a Monopoly car. So I suppose the question is, were you able to kind of think beyond the obvious in order to answer that question? Thinking beyond the obvious is a lot easier said than done, but by asking yourself why it is that you think that way, you can identify the perspective that you're coming from, and hopefully by doing that you're able to then try and think differently or look at the situation or the product from different angles to try and get different answers. So for example, a pen's job is to write, but think beyond the obvious. What else can a pen be used for? And it's by practicing activities like this that helps you develop the ability to think kind of creatively and think outside of the box. So another strategy is kind of brainstorming ideas and talking to each other to bounce your ideas off each other. So, talking with other people helps you be more creative or innovative, as often you can take inspiration from the other person's answers to develop yours. So, when you are doing this, blue sky thinking can be used to help with creativity because the concept tries to encourage thinking without any limits or boundaries. There is one rule with blue sky thinking though, and that is that there is no judgment so that everyone feels comfortable to contribute their ideas, which no matter how crazy they are. But often it's these crazy ideas that, with a few modifications, can help to create an idea which works in practice. Mind mapping. So, mind mapping is usually a good technique for those who are more visual, as it can be used to generate ideas but also to solve problems. It also allows people to put pen to paper and write everything down, and often people find that this allows them to see the bigger picture but also their options more clearly. Asking questions can also help us think more creatively because questions, of course, are vital to help us unlock answers that lead to new understandings, new insights, and new perspectives. This can subsequently generate new possibilities that you can use to your advantage to move forward in a better way. However, when facing a problem, we sometimes just don't know what questions to ask. So, in such instances, ask yourself, what questions might it be helpful to ask in this situation? Then ask those questions, and one question will lead to the next, and eventually creative ideas will come. Daydreaming. So, have you ever had a light bulb moment when you daydream? Daydreaming helps us to be creative because we tap into our subconscious. So, when we do this, our brain forges new connections which help us to generate new ideas or come up with solutions to problems. By learning new things, we can become more creative. This is because we open our eyes to new experiences and we may develop new knowledge or skills which may be useful or that might challenge our way of thinking. Hopefully, from this video, you will have developed a good understanding of what the skills creativity and innovation are, but also why they are so important for our future. Thinking outside of the box is definitely something which can be learned and developed. So, why not put the strategies we touched on into practice to see if they help you think more creatively? And can you think of any more?